Well, Alba's got 111 candidates across Scotland. Every single one of these candidates will have their own local priorities for their own local ward. But as a party across the country, we're saying three things. One is independence as an immediate priority. Secondly, real action to help hard-pressed families from sky-high fuel bills. And secondly, the protection of women and girls' rights in Scotland, which are under threat at the present moment. And that's a powerful three-point programme to back up the local campaigns of each Alba candidate.
What will count as success for Alba in this election?
Oh, a breakthrough. It would be quite a moment if we can see the first ever candidate elected under an Alba banner. That would be great for Alba, of course, but I think really positive for Scotland. I think it would re-energise the independence campaign. It would start the country moving forward again. So that would be quite a moment if we can see the first person elected under an Alba banner. Well, it's certainly relevant to local authorities because they will, if the GRA passes, they'll have to implement much of the legislation, for example, in schools, to take one example. But it's a huge issue in Scotland and becoming an even more bitter and divisive issue. I mean, we saw just last week, I think it was, Patrick Harvey as a Green Minister attacking unnamed people in the SNP, his coalition partners, calling them transphobes. And it's not a tenor of debate that's helpful. But what's at heart here is how you extend equality without jeopardising the established rights of women and girls. And I think, and Alba thinks, the best way to address it is through a citizens' assembly, because the citizens' assembly was created in order to discuss and talk out difficult issues. So let's send it there and let common sense of the citizens of Scotland take some of the heat out of the debate and inject some light into the debate. But Alba stands for the protection and upholding the rights of women and girls.
Do you think some in the SNP feel the same way as you do about the GRA, and have you had any discussions with them about that? You know, there will ultimately be a vote in Holyrood on it. How many rebels, if any, do you think there will be within the SNP?
I don't know how many rebels there'll be, but the answer to your questions are yes and yes. I mean, clearly there's disquiet and a great difficulty if the whips are going to come on and push through legislation like that. I mean, when I was First Minister, the equal marriage, introduced equal marriage, I would never have dreamed of trying to whip that legislation. I mean, I believed in it. It was the right thing. By persuasion, I think we convinced Scotland it was the right thing. But you have to be careful, the legislation you whip, and I think GRA is totally unsuitable for whip legislation. It would be much, much better to avoid that, send it to the Citizens' Assembly and try to get a tenor of debate of which Scotland can be proud. I mean, we're not the only country grappling with this issue. Many countries are. But we're the only country which has a device to take the sting out of the issue and inject some reason and dialogue into the debate. So for the life of me, I don't understand why it shouldn't be sent there. It's the right thing to do, it's the proper thing to do, and ultimately that will benefit everyone in the debate. But I lead a political party which is trying to find its feet, trying to make a political breakthrough, and I don't regard myself as finished with parliamentary politics. So if the opportunity arises, probably in the Scottish Parliament, then I'll lead Alba campaign into that Parliament. But let's see what the electorate say. I mean, Alba are trying to make a political breakthrough. We're trying to get that foothold. It would be hugely significant if we do so. Great for Alba, but I also think a good thing for Scotland.
Okay, thanks, Alex.